Welcome back to Main Street Living. Quincy, Danielle, it still feels like summer, but the new school year is ramping up, and that means high school football.
Yes, and at YurView, that means Game Time is back. Our show focused on the Friday night lights and all that goes along with them. So here to talk to us today about all things football, we have sports analyst and play-by-play Jeff Palermo. Jeff, thanks so much for making time for us on Main Street Living.
Well, it's great to be a part of the show. Thanks for asking me.
So Game Time, some great matchups and rivalries, but are these national games or will viewers get to see local high school games? How does it work?
Well, the viewers should be watching or will be able to see local matchups involving teams in their area. Here in South Louisiana, we'll have some of the best teams, the best players, some great games that we have lined up on our schedule this season. And it's just a great way for people to stay connected with their local community, especially if they can't get out to the high school games and so forth. I mean, there's nothing better really than high school football on a Friday night in the fall. I mean, it's about as Americana as it gets. And it's great that YurView is a part of it because it means so much, especially to these communities. Just getting together. It's obviously we're all going through a lot of tough times out there right now, but there's nothing more pure than high school football on a Friday night, and it's a great way for the community to get around, get out to something and get around to it. And if you can't be a part of it physically, watching it on TV, that's the second best thing.
Yeah, well, the second best thing, of course, watching it on TV, and the best thing on top of that is hearing you as the play-by-play announcer because you cover all the games there in Louisiana there. Now, how popular is high school football there in the state?
Well, what I like to always tell people is high school football in Louisiana is just as popular as it is in Texas. You always hear about high school football in Texas. And I would say the one big difference is that Louisiana doesn't have high school football stadiums that resemble college stadiums like they do in Texas. I mean, there's some huge stadiums in Texas, but it's just as passionate here in Louisiana. And the players are just as good as what you see in Texas. I mean, even when you're watching NFL games, the amount of guys that come out of the state of Louisiana to eventually play in the NFL, it's astonishing. It's always top three per capita every year. And you get to see them before they become stars when you get to watch the games on Game Time.
So we know that the talent is elite. When are the games starting, and what are you looking forward to this season?
Well, the start on Friday, September 2nd, and I'm really looking forward to our first matchup of the season. There's been a lot of talk about this certain quarterback from New Orleans by the name of Arch Manning. And, of course, he is the nephew of Peyton and Eli Manning. He's the son of Cooper Manning, who was the wide receiver that ended up going to Ole Miss and then suffering a career-ending injury, who now does stuff for Fox. And, of course, he's the grandson of Archie Manning. And there's been a lot of talk about him. He committed over the summer to the University of Texas, and we'll get to see him in the season opener against Hahnville. And it's going to be a very tough matchup for Newman. Newman is a smaller school in New Orleans, while Hahnville is one of the bigger schools in the state of Louisiana. So it'll be a terrific matchup. And again, that starts on Friday, September 2nd. And I can't think of a better way to kick off our schedule by focusing in on one of the top players in the country. And then again, give people a chance to see just how good high school football is in South Louisiana.
Yeah, but Jeff, these players seem so young. Like, how can you tell about what can you tell about an up-and-coming player by watching them play in high school?
Well, you get to see, I think, the athleticism. I mean, certain players just really jump off the page. I can remember watching Leonard Fournette, who, of course, is now on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we did his games a few years back when he was playing high school football at St. Augustine in New Orleans, and those guys just jump off the page. When you watch Arch Manning throw the football, it's something special. It just comes out of his hand much differently than, say, your average high school quarterback. And we'll get to see a lot of good quarterbacks during our games this season. Ricky Collins from Woodlawn High School. We got Woodlawn featured in one of our matchups later on in the season. He just committed to LSU. And then when you're not talking about a quarterback, whether it's a wide receiver or a guy that plays on defense, the speed, the strength, there's just something different. You can notice it pretty easily if you're watching closely enough. The difference between, that Division I stud player compared to a guy that's, just playing high school football for fun on a Friday night.
Yeah, and I remember on Gametime even just like DJ Uwinglele, who went to Clemson. I think that we've seen a
Yeah.
lot of great players come through, specifically on Gametime, of course. But I remember even watching Najee Harris in high school because he was playing in the Bay Area where I was from. Now we got to see him go to college, Alabama, all the way up to the Steelers, and you can just see each of those progressions. And it's really fun to start at the beginning here in high school for them. Where can viewers find more about Gametime, the full game schedules, the whole shebang?
Well, our schedule, there's a variety of ways to do it, but the full game schedules are going to be located at YurView.com. And then once you eventually see the schedule and tune in on Friday nights, but just realize we're going to be with you every Friday night, all the way from early September, all the way, heck, I think early December is probably our final game once we get into the semifinals. And you can always watch our games on your local YurView channel. You also have the Cox Contour TV app. And then also, if you're not able to watch the game on Friday, say you're at another game on a Friday night, you're watching your son or you're watching your daughter cheer, live streams and replays of all the games are available at watch.yourview.com.
Watch.yourview.com. Now, Jeff, I have to ask you this really quick. Now, you're a play-by-play announcer. We've never done this. I'm getting ready to throw a pass to Danielle, and she's going to score a touchdown. Call this play.
Oh, here's the pass out to Danielle, and what a grab. She makes it on her fingertips, dodges a defender, and she's in the end zone for a touchdown.
Nice.
See, this man gets paid for it. Come on.
It's
Nice.
in my blood.
Thank you so much for stopping by, Jeff, man. We definitely look forward to hearing your voice there on YurView.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Awesome. Good catch, Danielle. And up next, we're going to continue with how to watch the perfect game. Is there such a thing? Well, stick around and you'll see for yourself.